what's the age range, or how close are you guys in age?
I am 7 days older than him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
My birthday is actually tomorrow. So my birthday is tomorrow, and then his birthday is next Thursday, and we'll be on an island for his birthday.
Wow. 7 days apart.
Nice.
Wow. And you live 15 minutes away from each other.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at Facebook dating. Chad and Lene live just 15 minutes apart in the same city. They were even born in the same year, exactly 7 days apart. But somehow their paths never crossed until they matched on a Facebook dating app. Both had never been married, and they both didn't have any children. Within a month, they became official. And after dating for 2 years, they got married and are now celebrating nearly 1 beautiful year as husband and wife. I'm Dee Dee Patterson, and on this channel, I share real stories of couples who found lasting love online because I want you to believe in love again and see that dating apps really can lead to marriage. After all, I met my husband of 15 years on a dating app too. Chad and Lene's story is proof that the right person can be closer than you think, sometimes just 15 minutes away. Let's dive into their story. So we have another couple. We have the Burks family, we have Lene, and we have Chad. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. So the first question is, what do you both do for a living? Who wants to go first?
I work at UPS, where I'm a supervisor, and I pretty much run the operation, the day-to-day operations at the warehouse.
Good. What about you, Lene?
I'm a mental health therapist.
Good. All right. So how long have you been married?
It has been 11 months.
11 months.
Well, 11 months on the 9th. Yes. Oh, on your birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're about to celebrate a year.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right, 11 months. Nice. And then what site did you meet on?
Facebook dating.
Facebook dating.
Facebook dating. We've had a lot of those. People
Mhm.
might be sleeping on Facebook dating.
That's
Okay.
what I said, but some people are like, it's not good in their area and stuff. I'm like, hey, it worked.
Yeah.
Oh. So how did you meet on Facebook dating? Who was to tell their side of the story first?
I'll tell my side of the story. I think it was like one message exchange, and then I didn't respond like immediately. And then he just sent me a message like, oh, here's my number. Just call me here. And I don't know why. I was kind of like, why are you sending me his number? Why he act like he can't wait until I message him back? So I guess out of spite, I wanted to text him like, well, why'd you say it like that? I think that is how I started the conversation. Like, why'd you say it like that in the app? And he's like, what are you talking about? I just want to give you my number. I was like, oh, okay. But
Okay.
and then I think within a week we went on a date. And the only reason we didn't go on one faster is because my little sister was graduating from high school, so I had went to her graduation. Yeah.
Okay. Chad, you sent a message to Lene.
I'm swiping through pictures, and then I see this beautiful woman pop up. I go, and the funny thing in the photo, she's doing a pose, like she's showing off her back muscles. She works out a lot, but I couldn't see her
Okay.
face. But I like what I was seeing though, so I'll go like,
It was face pictures of me on there. It was.
there was no face pictures on the number.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
But
You weren't focused on those pictures, but there was.
But from looking at it now, I saw there was like a little face pic, but I was kind of interested in what I was seeing. If you ever been in the dating app phase that now we live in, people you never know if it's the real person nowadays. So I knew I liked what I
Okay.
saw, and I liked the person she was on the pictures. I was like, no, I wanted to prove she was real, because
I think that is what you said to me too. You're like, oh, people are not real on these apps, so I just wanted to give you my number so we could to see if you would actually follow through with talking to me.
and normally people I really want to have a connection with, I'll give them my personal. Because a lot of times they'll say, give me your Snapchat, and then never hear from them. And I'm like, I really like this girl. I want to get to know her some more. So let me give her my number. And then if she really likes me back, she'll text me back. And I'm just so grateful she did.
Wow, that's good. So what made you go ahead and send the message with your number in it?
We were texting back and forth on the app, but I've noticed it was a long lag before I heard from her. So I was like, maybe if I have her direct number, I can talk to her faster and she'll probably respond more quicker if I have her real number versus the app. Because one thing I didn't like about the app, it will give you like alerts when someone texts you, but a lot of time when you're busy doing life stuff and errands, you're not gonna look at your phone very quickly like you will on the text message when it pops up in front of your screen, so.
Okay. So you guys were messaging back and forth, and then there was a big gap. And
Yeah.
then you, instead of thinking, oh, she must not be interested in me, you're thinking, oh wait, she just probably not getting notifications. So let me give her
Yeah.
cell phone number. So you were very optimistic. I like that.
I was. And
Sure, I had the notifications turned off too because I was like, I'll just get on here when I get on here.
yeah.
And I didn't keep the notifications on. So that was smart.
In the conversation we were having, she was catching my interest. So I'm like, I really want to meet this girl. I want to know who she's about. And so I was like, but a lot of people are telling me, no, Chad, don't give her your number. Wait till, a little longer. But one thing a man knows is if he knows what he likes, he's going to pursue what he likes.
Wow.
Lene was one of those women that made me pursue her more because I was liking the conversations. We had some of the same interests. And I was like, I have to know more about her,
Good. I like
But I feel
it.
like we didn't start that kind of conversation until after we started texting.
Yeah.
Like the deeper conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So normally, to me, especially in the dating app world, if she's messaging you back pretty often, she kind of digs you too a little bit. So I'm like, okay, well, she actually giving me some attention here, and she's a very pretty girl here, so I'm gonna see what she's about. So
Yeah.
I love it. That's really good. And you kind of said it, but I'm just going to directly ask, like, what made her stand out besides I guess, was it the bin pictures? Was there anything that made her stand
one, the
out?
physical attraction, most definitely. But I'm looking at some of her goals. I can tell she was ambitious. She was self-motivated. She knew where she wanted to go. And pictures can tell you a lot of words, And sometimes the pictures people take, you can know a lot about them. With her, I didn't see provocative pictures. I saw pictures that show that she has goals. She has things she likes to do. She's just not out here just for a fling. She actually means business and wants something real. And that's kind of what I was looking for.
Yeah.
At the time.
Nice. That's really good. What about for you, Lene? What about Chad made him stand out?
I think it was just him being bold. And I think why it offended me, I don't remember if I have the screenshot, but I think he requested that I text him and he didn't ask me or say if you want to talk. He just said, hey, here's my number. You should, or text me or something like that. I think that's what it said. And I'm like, how he gonna tell me what to do? So then I had to see about that more.
Okay. So
I
you
think
liked
that's what initially stood out to me, and then now getting to know him as a person and loving all the things about him.
good. You started texting on your phones. From that time that you started texting, when did you go on your first date?
We went on our first date the Wednesday after we started texting. We were texting and calling for a week, and then we didn't go on a date that week because I was going out of town to go see my little sister graduate, and then the next date that came up as available for us was that Wednesday or something. Yeah, it wasn't a Wednesday.
Yeah, during your lunch break.
During my lunch break. So we had a little 45-minute date.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how was that? How was the first date, lunch date?
It was good. It was really good.
One thing I would change, the food wasn't the best, but
I think the food was fine. I liked the food. I didn't have a problem with the food.
But one thing that really stood out about the day, I really let my intentions known to Lene.
Oh yeah.
I just, from a past like me, I was tired of being in relationships where it wasn't going nowhere. So I wanted to let my intentions known to her so she know what I wanted and what I was trying to get into. And hopefully she saw the same. And it was kind of like we call the introduction of a book, the pre-chapter.
The prequel?
The prequel? No, we call it
I don't know.
Like before you read a book, it's like an introduction, but it's like I was trying to tell what my story is before she gets into it, because I wanted her to know what I was into. Because a lot of times you get
the prologue.
The prologue. There we go. That's the word.
Okay.
Yeah. And it just trying to set the basis of what I was trying to do with her. And for me meeting her, I knew I wanted to be with her. I know that's kind of cliche to say, but you just kind of know when your energies both align. And you know when things seem right. There wasn't no red flags from the get-go. I was really interested in her from when I met her. And then even from the conversations, I was kind of excited about the first date because I was like, wow, she seemed pretty dope on the phone. Just imagine how she is in person.
Yeah. Yeah, on our first date, he laid down what he said. He said, I'm looking to get married. So if that's not what you're interested in, then, we don't have to go further. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I was going to ask him, what does setting his intentions mean? And that meant that you told her on the first date that you were looking to get married?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that, Lene?
I mean, I was okay with it because I was dating with that intention as well. I really
Okay.
he just knew what he wanted. And it wasn't like trying to play games and stuff. Cause I think we've all been in situations where, boundaries are blurred and you don't know what this is versus that. And so he was like, no, if we're going to be doing this, we're going somewhere. We're not just hanging out.
Okay. Because some women that would scare them on the first day, but that didn't scare you at all.
No, because it wasn't like, oh, I want to get married to you right now. It's like,
Okay.
this is what we're dating for to make sure
Okay.
that we're supposed to be together.
Nice. And then on that, when you first saw each other, I'm asking all the couples this, was it love at first sight for you, Lene? And I'm going to ask Chad.
Well, I'll just say that the week after we met, I went to Jamaica for the first time. My mom got married in Jamaica, and I was like writing his name and my name in hearts in the sand. So I'll say that. I don't know if that was love per se, but like I was very deep in like after like 2 weeks.
Okay.
But
what about you, Chad?
On the phone.
Yeah. For me, I was smitten on the first date, but I was still kind of had my guard up still. But I was like, this girl's amazing. I like her a lot, and she's amazing. But I've learned over my time not to get too excited because you never know where it's gonna take you. And so I was still kind of being on guard, and then I kind of let my guard down after about a week or two.
Good. Yay.
For the first 2 weeks of us dating, I'm pretty sure we were on the phone for like, I wish I could pull the call logs. It was like 10 hours at a time, but that's because he was at work. He used to work an overnight job. So then when he was working at that job, then we would just sit on the phone for like 10 hours. I think one time it was that long for real. But
wow. So you guys talked daily and at least once 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So after that first date, how long did it take to become like official? Like to say that you are an exclusive couple?
We have a debate about this because he felt like when we first started dating, that was us being official, but it wasn't. When he asked me to be his girlfriend was on July 3rd. Yeah.
How long was that after the first date?
So like 3 weeks?
4 weeks.
About a month. Yeah, about a month after.
A month after the first date. All right. And then between that, the date, were you guys just still talking to each other on a daily basis?
Yeah, we would talk daily. We went on dates probably every week.
Okay.
Okay. My schedule's a little weird, so I think we just went on dates on the weekends, and during the week I'll go back to my grind.
Well, you would come for lunch. When we first started dating, when your schedule was like you was working overnight, you would come, we would take lunch dates.
Yeah.
Okay. How far apart did you guys live from each other? How far did you live from each other?
15 minutes. It was very close.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So on Facebook dating, they just show that you guys live in the same city?
I don't even know where I was when we matched. I feel like I was at work. Maybe I was at home. I don't know.
Normally it will tell you like the area, like you can tell like where you live, and then the radius you're willing to like travel.
Yeah.
And I think I said something like 30 miles. I think I
put mine for like 50 miles, something like that.
You guys live 15 minutes away from each other.
Yeah.
Wow. How long were you guys both on Facebook dating before you met each other?
A week.
Okay. You were only on for a week. What about you, Chad?
I'll say about a month and a half.
That's it?
But I was still skeptical of it because it was new, and I was like, I might even know if this is gonna even work. And Facebook was kind of like starting to introduce it in your page and saying try it out, and I'm like, I'll try it out, but this other dating app just kind of burnt me a bit, and I kind of I was still skeptical, but I was willing to give it a shot. So
that's why I went to Facebook dating too, because I was like, these other apps, it's so cool with them on there. Yeah. I don't know about that. And I was on Facebook dating for a week, and then after a week, I deleted it. Or whatever.
When you met him, you deleted it?
Yeah.
Okay. You deleted after you met Chad, and then you got rid of yours after you met Lene.
Yes, if y'all needed it anymore. That point. Yeah.
And then after you guys went exclusive, how long did it take for you to actually get engaged and then married? We started dating in 22 and we got a year and a half. Yeah, it was about a year and a half when we got engaged, and then 2.5 years
married.
When we got married. Yeah, because we just made 3 years like dating. Now that you've been married for 11 months, Lene, what do you like about Chad?
I love that he is very caring, just overall for anybody, his friends, his family, me, of course. He's very, very caring. I love that he is a hard worker. We talk about that all the time. I tell him probably like more times in a week that I can count how hard working he is because he does. He works very hard to the point where sometimes I have to tell him like it's okay to rest. It's okay. But yes, I really love that about him. And he's funny sometimes.
Okay.
No, he's funny with his dad jokes.
Okay.
That's what he really is. So, but it is funny. And he's very attractive. I mean, that's good. I really love that he's a God-fearing man.
When you say he's hardworking, so does he still have the night schedules that he did when you first met?
No.
No. So then hardworking at home or just when you say
with working at UPS, like he was recently promoted within the past year. Like right after we got married, he got promoted within like 2 weeks of us getting back.
Wow.
So then he has a lot more job responsibility and manage a lot of people at work, and just the effort that he puts in there and doing other things to make sure that we never go without.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you, Chad? What about Lene do you like now that you've been married for 11 months and you've known her for 3 years now?
Maybe just how supportive she is, like, and very understanding. I can say sometimes I don't make some of the best decisions, but she's kind of supportive and helped me give me a different perspective. I also love her communication. She really tells me how she feels about certain things, and I think when I met her, I told her I don't want half of you, I want the whole you, and I told her that because I don't want her to not be herself when she's in a relationship with me or being together. I think you should be your full self. And if you're not your full self, then why are you even together? You know what I mean? Like, you can do this by yourself. But she's always 100% with me. If I ask her anything, I know she's going to give me the best answer, and she's going to take emotion out of it. Even if it hurts, she's going to tell me the truth. And that's one thing I respect about her over the time. And also, over our time, she taught me a lot. I was, communication was a big issue for me in relationships. And being with her, she made me better at that. Like, it's okay to tell you how you feel, and I know a lot of men like to tell other people how they feel, but she was like, "Hey, it's okay. You're still a man if you tell me how you feel. It's okay. You're still a man that you can still cry. You can still show emotion. You know what I mean? I'm still think of you as a strong man, and it's okay." I was taught kind of old school, like, "Hey man, you gotta be tough and you gotta be strong all the time." And being with Lene, I was able to be strong, but also I could show a weak side to her, and she's not going to judge me, and she's going to still see me as a strong, great man without feeling weak. And she always pushing me to be better. She always telling me, "Hey, don't be constant or don't be stagnant. Just keep pushing forward and get better every day." And I feel like with Lene, I've grown to be a better man. I've grown, my confidence been kind of better out the roof now, being married. So she just makes me a better man overall.
I love that. And this is just sheer out curiosity. So, because when men grow up, or some men grow up, they're told to not cry, not show their emotions. That's something that some men hold their emotions, but then you've learned to just like express yourself. Is that what happened?
Yes, that's mainly what it is. And like, for example, like if I'm feeling some type of way about a subject or something, I'll just be quiet. I used to just be quiet, like, that's okay. You like it, go for it, but I learned being with Anae, like, hey, it's okay. If you don't like something, let her know. So she's not thinking you like something you don't, or if something makes you feel some type of way, it's okay to express it, and I think over the years I was told wrong about marriage sometimes because I was always told, "Oh, happy wife, happy life." But I'm like, when you get married, do you lose yourself? And I'm like, that's not appealing to me, And why would I get
Right.
married if I'm gonna lose myself? But I just think for any marriage to work or any marriage to be even happy, I think you should definitely be able to be yourself and be able to communicate things that's uncomfortable or you don't like. So at least the other spouse knows what you like and don't like.
That's where you are now, is that you feel comfortable saying what you don't like and just being yourself. Is that how you feel in your
Yes.
marriage? Okay, good. And then what advice do you both have for people who are looking for love online? And we'll start with Chad this time. What advice do you have for people looking for love online?
When you're looking for love, I really believe one, you should first love yourself, because if
Mm-hmm.
you don't love yourself, it's kind of hard to show someone else that love, right? And then when looking for a spouse, is really make sure your interests align and have some differences. Like if you both can't have liking the same things, it's okay to be different, and don't fear to branch out a little bit. All right, I know when people look for love, they like to have this list of things they want in a man or in a woman or in a partner. But I think instead of that, you should really be willing to have open mind and be able to accept differences that may be not what you're used to. And
Right.
you'd be surprised what you may find sometimes.
Good. What about you, Lene? What advice do you have for people on dating apps looking for love?
I would say just be honest
Okay.
and saying what you really do want, and like Chad was saying, also like not just going off of the vibes. We actually went through like certain things and talked about, which I feel like everybody should before you get married. You want to have kids, finances, all
Mm,
those big things, like all those really big things. So then you don't get into being bound with this person and then not knowing questions about some of those things. But so we talked about
right. And do either of you have kids now?
no, well, fur babies.
For babies. Okay. And are you guys planning on having kids or
It's in talks.
still talk? Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay, so both of you guys, and had either of you been married before?
No.
Okay, so both of you guys never married, no kids.
Yes.
Nice, perfect. What's the age range, or how close are you guys in age?
I am 7 days older than him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
My birthday is actually tomorrow. So my birthday is tomorrow, and then his birthday is next Thursday, and we'll be on an island for his birthday.
Wow, 7 days apart, and you live 15 minutes away from each other.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Look at Facebook dating.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty cool that so much was aligned there. Okay.
Yeah.
even when we
So,
started talking about like places that we frequented, I'm like, I don't know how I never saw you there.
Mm.
Like certain restaurants and stuff. I'm like, I don't know how I never saw you there. I always ate there.
it's the weirdest things because I live 20 minutes away from my husband when we met on a dating app, but we never saw each other in person. So that's pretty weird how a dating app does that, connects you guys when you guys
Yeah.
live 15 minutes away and are 7 days apart.
Yeah.
Or, yeah. So, yeah.
I also told him that many times, like if I would saw you in public, I would probably have hit it on you easily. I was, but I'm just glad. I just really believe I met her in the perfect time in my life, because I would probably appreciate her better now than I would maybe earlier in my life. Because so I believe everything happens for a reason, and I'm just glad things worked out the way it did.
Repeat what you said. You said if you had saw her in person, what would have happened if you saw her in person?
I will probably still hit it on her or try to talk to her, because
Oh, you would have still talked to
I
her.
will have
Okay.
still talked to her. I'm just glad Facebook kind of put us together, but I would have still approached her, still try to talk to her. She's a very beautiful lady. So I was like, I had to shoot my shot.
Yeah.
Nice. I love it. Even though it's only been 11 months, what marriage advice do you have?
I don't feel like I'm qualified to give marriage advice, me personally, but I will say, you gotta make everything a we thing and not a you thing. And I would say that's something that we've
Mm,
been learning. Just because, I mean, I wouldn't say that we got married super later in our life, but definitely later as we are like established in our own life and our own how we do things and how we, whatever. So blending that and talking as if it's us and not I'm doing this, you doing this. But
yeah, so you said you were not qualified for advice. That's excellent advice. Some people never learn that, how important it is to be we instead of me. So that's excellent advice. Good. Go ahead. Go ahead, Chad. What advice do you have about marriage?
I still believe it's a beautiful thing to do still. I
Mhm.
know a lot of people don't value it like they used to, but I still believe it's still something special, and it should be really shared with someone you really care about and really want to be with for a long time. And also just in marriage, just it's okay to have disagreements.
Mhm.
It's okay to fight sometime. Any marriage, it happens. And if people don't fight, I'll be a little worried. If people don't have disagreements, I'll be a little worried. But in reality, it's it gives you a chance to not just think about yourself. It gives you more meaning in life. Like now you have some purpose. Now you have something to work harder for because you have a family to take care of. You got people you care about that you want to see succeed and flourish, so I just encourage everybody just really love is still there. Marriage is still beautiful and marriage was made for a reason and it should be something that's continue explored and continue to achieve for many people.
Nice. I love it. So then what do you like about being married?
It's a lot, but I would say having somebody always available to taste my latest recipe.
One thing I like about was just one coming home to someone care about you, and it really means a lot, especially after a long day of work, you want to come home and just have someone is going to always be there for you and ask you about your day and also like even some responsibility like finances, you share those now and it makes things a lot
It
easier.
makes life easier.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys, yeah,
Yeah.
especially when you're balancing those things out, and then when you're single, you don't have to pay for everything by yourself. You can actually share some of the responsibilities and hopefully get your own finances in order better because you're in a relationship. So, and then just the companionship too, and
Chad is one of my best friends. Okay, I'm gonna say that. I just love hanging out with him. Like just I don't know, it doesn't get old. Us going out and doing stuff, finding a new restaurant to eat at. We just really like hanging out and kicking it, and that's fun.
Thanks so much for watching. If this story inspired you, don't forget to subscribe for more real life love stories from couples who met on dating apps. And if you're ready to find your own person, I've linked some free resources below to help you get started. See you in the next video.